Gas is the new petrol. Since 2019, the federal government has been pushing for the usage of gas, CNG and LPG in automobiles as the country plans to reduce the natural energy consumption of petrol and diesel by achieving a 40% fuel switch to LPG in 10 years. According to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, 2020 was to be the year of gas, and the federal government is putting all efforts towards deepening domestic gas utilization.
So what we want to do is to introduce CNG into the market so that if you find PMS too expensive, CNG, which is much cheaper, should be affordable to you.
The advent of COVID-19 brought about global lockdown and shutdown that led to a drop in oil prices. Nigeria was not immune to the economic downturn as businesses and offices were shut down, with majority of Nigerians, except essential workers, staying at home. Consequently, the deregulation of the petroleum industry became a viable option as subsidy became unrealistic.
The sustainable solution is to create another kind of fuel that is cheaper and cleaner. So we are achieving two things at the same time: cheaper and getting closer to cleaner fuel. Because by the time you get used to gas to fuel your car, which probably will be like half the price of petrol, you probably will never think of petrol anymore.
The master plan, Your Excellency, is meant to leverage on the nation's huge natural gas reserve base to stimulate unprecedented economic growth and enable Nigeria's migration from the current money economy into a diversified economy.
As part of plans to mitigate effects of deregulation that led to the increase in price of PMS, the federal government, through the National Gas Expansion Program (NGEP), is using all available domestic gas resources to provide cheaper and cleaner energy for Nigerians. Prior to the formal launch of the program, consultations were conducted wide and near at all levels of the business environment, with about 9,000 filling stations enjoined across the country to begin installation of facilities for gas, namely autogas, CNG, and liquefied petroleum gas, LNG, available at over 18 locations at the moment, with plans to have more in the future.
This landmark project is being developed at a critical time in Nigeria's commitment to increasing our infrastructure assets. We promise the nation that we will expand the critical gas infrastructure in the country to promote the use of gas in the domestic market. These include the Escravos to Lagos pipeline system, to Obiafu to Obricom pipeline, and Ajakuta, Kaduna, Kano.
To make sure everyone is carried along, the federal government is providing the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) palliative to ameliorate rising cost of transport. 100 autogas buses will be handed over to the NLC, in addition to the 5 autogas buses ready to be ceremonially given to the organized labor. To make the program sustainable and environment-friendly for private investors, the federal government is releasing the sum of 250 billion naira fund via the Central Bank of Nigeria for interested investors to have easy and cheap access, even as the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has promised to support ongoing initiatives by the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources to provide an alternative energy source to Nigerians through aggressive activation of compressed natural gas (CNG) refill stations for motorists, commercial and private, across the country. Since this initiative is entirely new and occurring in the mid-downstream value chain, the federal government is conducting various capacity-building trainings for individuals at all levels to build up on the technical expertise on ground. The good news is that autogas is cleaner and environmentally friendly, as it significantly helps reduce CO2 emission. Autogas is more efficient and cheaper than petrol, and people need not discard their existing cars, buses for autogas. Motorists can comply by simply converting to a dual-fueled vehicle that operates on both petrol and autogas at choice.
These projects are fundamental to our desire to industrialize and energize the entrepreneurial spirit. It has significant job creation potential, both direct and indirect, while fostering the development and utilization of local skills and manpower. Infrastructure development, although long, tedious, and complex, remains a cardinal objective of our administration's drive towards ensuring a stable, sustainable, and more prosperous future for our citizenry.
The National Gas Expansion Program, to be launched, is a high point for Nigeria as it goes live in various locations and states over the course of the next few months. With this giant step towards autogas fashion to fit the country, Nigeria has joined the League of countries like Egypt, India, Morocco, New Zealand, France, Australia, and the United States of America, who have been using the natural gas for years and decades. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.